suicidal woman in Washington that was shot and killed yesterday. Her name was Renee Davis. She's a 23-year-old mother of 3. And she was at her home on the Muckleshoot Indian Reservation in Auburn, Washington. Sorry, this was not yesterday. This was Friday evening when sheriff's deputies came knocking. Someone called to report that Davis, who was also 5 months pregnant, was suicidal and armed with a gun. And this is from the Seattle Times. When deputies arrived to conduct a welfare check, no one at the house answered the door. And the King County Sheriff said they knocked again and there was nothing. Inside, deputies could see 2 young children running around, and when they entered the house, they found Davis with a handgun. What happened next is unclear, but at some point, 2 deputies opened fire on Davis, striking her at least once. She was pronounced dead on the scene. Davis, described by a relative as a Native American, is one of the least of the 776 people shot and killed by police so far in 2016. 32 of them women, and according to the Washington Post database, of those women, 13 were listed as mentally ill. So 32 women, 13 mentally ill, according to the Washington Post database. And the shooting comes at a time, of course, where police around the country have faced intense scrutiny. Davis's sister Danielle Bargala said Davis was at home with her 2 and 3-year-old children when deputies arrived, and the 5-year-old was with relatives. Bargala told the Times that Davis had suffered from depression in the past and that she had texted someone Friday evening to say she was feeling distraught. That person asked the police to go check on her. So it's really upsetting, as this was a wellness check and she ended up dead.
I don't know the procedures. I can just say that I don't know. I think I'm going to look into it to find out what they are. But especially in these like mental health cases, I don't know if like all police officers are trained to handle them, or are there like specialty officers or certain officers who come handle these situations? Because every situation you can't treat the same. If somebody is calling you to do a wellness check and they already let you know what kind of state of mind the person may or may not be in, you can't handle this situation as if you're going to find a suspect who just shot somebody or who just robbed a store or something.
It's not an invitation to kill.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like that's the mentality they have.
Well,
I don't feel like enough officers have the mentality of I'm going to help somebody, or they just go in there with the mindset of I need to protect myself.
I want to tell you what I'm feeling, and I'm going to stand by this. I think that in a time that this is so high, there is so much. It's baffling to me because there is so much tension between people and police, and in the time where the police are supposed to, that should never be ignored. B, from the time that I've been on this earth, and from the time that I remember being introduced to police officers, I remember being taught at school that they are here to protect and serve, but I remember being taught from my family that you stay alive. You do what you have to do to stay alive. In the case of mental illness, this is bothering me kind of in a different way, because in a time where it's being encouraged, I'm going to talk about people of color, maybe minorities in general, but I know specifically with people of color, it's being encouraged for us to embrace the fact that being mentally ill or having some mental issues is okay. What's not being addressed is the fact that I don't know if there's a connection, and I am. This is a far stretch because I'm not a scientist, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a psychologist. With all of this encouragement for people of color to now say, "Oh, I'm being mentally ill," and no training for police officers, is this an invitation for us to invite them to just come in and handle our illness by taking us out?
Exactly.
Like all of this, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. So the one somebody says, okay, I am, and I don't know what's going on, and it's reported, instead of handling it, because so many times, because this hasn't been something that was addressed in our community, the way to handle it is not like and from what I've read, a lot of the ways that this has been handled in our community in the past, people handle it with alcohol, smoking, or their pastor. So many times pastors are not equipped to deal with mental illness because they don't even believe that it's real, or they don't have the understanding that it's real. So if law enforcement decides they're going to eradicate everyone that's mentally ill because they're struggling with something, maybe they were not. We don't know what happened in this case.
What we do know is that they called the police to do a wellness check, and they informed the police prior to going there about her state. So they knew what state she was in. They knew what state of mind she was in. So that's what I'm saying. Like, are y'all going with the mindset of,
I can't help but draw the correlation. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Am I going to actually check on her wellness? Am I going to make sure she's okay, that she hasn't harmed herself? Like, am I going for this? Because they didn't say, when they called the police, they did that with the mindset of
that somebody was going to help.
Exactly. Not somebody was going to make the situation worse or to kill somebody. To make sure she was okay. And they knew her state of mind. Because we know in the different situation, I forgot their name, but the counselor who worked at the home where the dude was
the man was shot in the street.
Exactly, when he had the toy gun.
Yeah, his name's
nobody
on mine.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's a different scenario because they didn't exactly know. They got a call from somebody who
someone
just said
told them
somebody's
too
in the street.
when they got on site that this man is mentally
That's
ill.
what I'm saying.
Someone
so
told
is there somebody
them.
who? But this is a call you already knew before you even got there. So that's what I'm saying. Do you send out? Is there some kind of protocol where you send out officers who specialize in these mental illness cases?
Do we have officers that do that?
Or do you train all police officers? If you do, I'm sorry, but I don't think the training is working.
Well, do we have officers that specialize
so.
in mental illness?
That's what I'm saying.
I would say probably not.
I'm pretty sure they don't. That's what I'm saying. What kind of mindset are you going into the situation with? You need to protect yourself at the end of the day, or are you really going in here to help the situation?
I cannot help but draw a correlation here. Especially, recently in our community, there's been an uptick with Kid Cudi, and his bold declaration that he had some issues. I mean, I've seen for me, it seems like constant posts of people dealing with their mental issues. And honestly, if I'm being transparent, I don't believe that Facebook is not going to help you deal with these issues. I just want to say that to our people. Facebook is not the place for you to get help or counseling through whatever. It's fine if you want to let people know that you have this problem, but Facebook is not the place for you to get help. And it's okay to seek professional help, and that's something that I'm standing behind. I had a serious issue with, like, no jokes, Aubrey jokes aside, light skin jokes aside, I have an issue with that being attacked because it is serious, and we don't know how serious it can get. With the little amount of information that I have, I'm not saying that I'm trying to get more information on this, just because it's something that I feel like when people are ready to talk about it, you want to be somebody with some solid information instead of saying, well, I just wish you the best, and you don't know what state they're in at that point. But who do we tell people to call when there is a problem, or who do we call when we see that we know somebody? I'm not calling the police to tell them to go do a wellness check on somebody. Like, that's just something that I'm not doing.
It's not.
Like, that's just something that I'm not going to do.
I want to know, does it need, not that it needs to be addressed. I'm tired of saying stuff needs to be addressed because people know. Everyone's aware. But do we care, or do the police in this country care that they're not looked at as somebody who, as the people, the purpose of their job to protect and serve, people don't look at them that way. Not everybody in this country looks at them that way.
Yeah, our community doesn't look. We don't look at them that way.
So it's like we look at them as honestly
there's,
like the
there's
enemy.
Still a prominent.
And we go into like a defense. Mechanism.
There are still a number of people.
As soon as we come across them, and we don't even want to. And this is the reason why we don't even want to call them to come help us. Who the hell we gonna call? Ghostbusters?
I'm not calling them. I have to really think about the situations in which I would call the police.
That's what I'm saying. And what's crazy is some people will still hear this come out of our mouths and they will be like, that's stupid, that's ignorant, because they don't understand. They don't understand what that really means. To not want to call the people
I honestly
purposely
can't think
for their job because of this reason.
At this moment right now, it's 9:16 Eastern Time. On October 25th, 2016, I cannot think of a reason that I would call the police. And let me give you the full scale of what I'm considering. Me stranded on the side of the highway. Me knowing that a friend of mine is dealing with something, or a family member of mine is dealing with some type of mental illness, and I need them to be checked on. Me discovering a dead body.
Oh hell no! Not as a black person. I'm not calling the police. I'm not calling the police.
A scenario.
I'm gonna find a white person. Can you call the police? Cause I seen this body. I'm not calling the police. I am sorry, and I will.
No,
pray to
I haven't thought about it.
About a dead body. If I seen a dead body, but I'm sorry. Don't mean any harm. And I'm not gonna do it.
I have to think about it this way because I have not thought about it.
If it's like, well, I'm trying to think about like if it's like a family member and something happened. But if I see, you know how some people just discover those dead bodies, like
you just
in a
walk
dumpster.
Up on them. Yeah, like
I'm hell no. I'm out. I'm out.
That's what I mean.
I'm not calling them. Nope. I'm not doing that. I'm not calling the police. I can get mine. I'm not getting no. So they can come shoot and kill me? Nah, I'm not doing it.
Get away from the body and
not
all of this. Oh, we thought he looked suspicious. Like, no.
You seen what, Alex? Put your shades on and go home. Walk away. I'm going to put my shades on. I ain't see nothing.
There's no way.
Look.
There's no way.
Pamela James ain't seen Jack.
So if I can say that at this moment right now, there's nothing that's going to compel me to call the police. Who do we tell? Because this concerns
if somebody had like broke into my house, I would leave and tell the police to go there. I'm not gonna be there. How you know? Because I was there. Why you ain't there? Because y'all there. Because y'all coming. Well, you can ask me questions. I need somebody. I can come down there, but I'm not.
I can send a representative.
Exactly. I'm not staying there with you. I'm not with you people. You people.
And people hear this and they always think it's a racial thing, and it's not.
And they think it's outrageous for us to
I'm not
like
staying
this.
there for a white police officer,
a black
Spanish police officer, a black police officer.
Not now one of y'all.
Doing it.
Nope.
Because the premise is the same. I'm not doing
now
it.
One of y'all.
My black ass won't be there.
Nope. Not gonna happen.
So I still like. I want to at least pull some. I don't know why this is on me just so heavy. I want to pull some resources together or something like that because people need to know who to call. Like the suicide hotline number has been the same forever. Mm-hmm. I feel like I've given it on air so many times. Like if you feel like, but everybody that's dealing with mental health isn't contemplating suicide. There's something else. They may just need to be checked on. I don't know, bro. It bothers me. It baffles me. It upsets me. Renee Davis should not have died this way.
We'll see. One more. I'm interested to know further details when they unravel.
We'll continue to follow it. I was giving it multiple times. 1-800-SUICIDE is the number for the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. It's 800-784 2433. All right. We're going to take a quick break. We're back with a wrap on entertainment and trending news. Check in with us if you have thoughts on this. 844-99-SHAKE.
844-997-4253 at the ShakeUp AM on Instagram and Twitter.